guys, DominantDuels here, and today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my July 2015 Konami ban list predictions. Now, I know that Konami posted an article on their website or something, or blog or whatever, saying about how they didn't have a set date for their ban list and how they would just do it when they're ready. But I believe that they did say that it was going to be in July, just when they had the right moment and stuff. So yeah, I feel pretty safe making this video. And just before I start the video, I want to tell you guys that not all these predictions, of course, will come true. Maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 might actually happen. But some of these things on here are just a wish for me, for example, Inzectors. But Konami does not happen to give a crap anymore about restoring older archetypes to what they used to be and stuff like that. So yeah, let's get on to the 2015 July ban list predictions. Alright, so first off, we have our banned cards. We have 2 new additions here in my book. One would be Royal Magical Library, the other Gin Releaser. So about Royal Magical Library, well, with the coming of stuff like Ignites and I believe it was Chicken Race, that whole FTK that they have. Of course, Konami hates FTKs. They try to get rid of them as fast as they can, with the exception of Exodia, which is actually kind of hard to pull off consistently. So they didn't really touch that until they limited everything. So that's the only thing I think they really care about. But now that they have Chicken Race, which is actually a very, very consistent FTK, I've tested the deck out myself. The only card that I don't actually like in that deck would be Serial Spell. Every other card I have a use for, so it's actually very, very consistent. I've probably won around 75% of the games, just first turn, there we go. Or, well, really the next turn, because you have Magical Explosion, Trap Card, and all that. But yeah, so Royal Magical Library helps out decks like that. And Konami really does not want stuff like that to live in this game. So I think they're going to ban Royal Magic Library either now or after the set comes out, after maybe a format or something. And then we have Gin Release or Rituals, just because nobody likes the Gin Lock unless your name is Patrick Hoban and you cheat your way through the Gin Lock. Nobody likes it. See, the Gin Lock just causes a lot of problems for people not being able to special summon and all that. Even if you're using the Gin Lock, if you're playing Necros, you don't like to be Gin Locked. So out of courtesy, sometimes you both side it out, unless you're Patrick Hoban. So yeah. And it just caused too many problems with different decks. Nobody wanted to play against that. So yeah. Those are the 2 cards that I think should be banned. So yeah, let's get on to the cards going to 1. Alright guys, so here are the cards that I think need to go to 1 on the ban list. So first off, we have El Shell Construct. I think it's been way too long. That should also have had this card at 3. Even in the OCG, I think it's banned or something. In the OCG, I think I'm pretty sure it's banned, and Windows at 1 or something like that. But Shaddolls go into it way too often, and when they die, you get one of the spells, and it floats way too much in that deck with the spells and being able to make another one. So I think it's about time that they lost something like that. And then we have Lavolvo Chain, because it supports a bunch of OTK and FTKs. There was one that I saw recently. It was the blue-blooded Oni that was at some Australian nationals or something last year, which you can still actually pull off very easily. And it also supports a bunch of other FTKs, and it just helps out decks like Necros so much. And yeah, a lot of people have been saying that it should be banned, but I don't think it deserves to be banned. It's not that bad. But I think 1 would be safe. I only run 1 in my deck anyway, so it wouldn't make too much of a difference to me. But yeah. So for limited, or the next card in the limited list is going to be Manju and Senju. Yes, I have them together because you don't play 1 unless you play both, pretty much. Makes Necros way too consistent. Even in Japan, they're at 1 each. And Necros is still doing pretty good in there, I would say. So even at 1, I don't know. It would definitely bring the deck's consistency down a lot. Now that you'll only be drawing it 1 out of every 20 cards, you have a chance of drawing them if they're at 1, versus 3 out of every 20 cards. That's actually a big difference. That's 3 times as much if they were at 3. That's 3 times less if they were at 1. So yeah, it makes Necros really, really consistent. Especially since Senju can only grab a monster, but if you want a spell, you just grab Clausulus and get your spell. So they're all the same card anyway, so yeah. Then we have Instant Fusion, need I say any more, Norden. Konami might ban this now, or they might ban it after Norden comes out, just because it's going to be a really overpowered card. Then we have Necros of Trishula, just because I've seen a lot of people running double Trish, and double Trish, just getting getting trished twice in one game is just terrible because it stops any plays that you might want to do. If you have something for next turn and they banish that card out of your hand, you're done for. And then getting trished again while you might have some like backup play and they remove that card, you're basically screwed and you basically just enter scoop phase. So yeah, one trish might balance things out a little bit. I'm okay getting trished once because that is the deck's power card and that is what the deck needs to be able to do stuff like that. So yeah. And then we have Rhoda because it helps out decks like Necros to grab your Shurits, your Clauselesses, stuff like that. And it helps out S-Knights a lot too. You have basically like 6 searchers in that deck, plus your alphas, which let you draw one. So yeah, that's the limited list, and now we're going to be going on to the semi-limited. Alright guys, so this is the semi-limited list. First off, we have Necros of Unicorn, because Necros can recycle super easily with it. Even in Japan, where Necros of Unicorn is at 1, they're still doing pretty good, I would say. With all the stuff that's limited there in Japan for Necros, they're still doing pretty well, so I don't think it would hurt it too much. Even if it's semi-limited here, it would at least stop one more like recycle with Valk. The Unicorn Valk, you just Unicorn, get the Valk from the grave, stall again, just keep going like that. It's just very, very annoying. So yeah. And then we have Necros of Valkyries because they can stall, and then they can draw. So yeah, they just like are able to stall until they draw something good, or they can use it to draw and hope that they draw something good from there. Just like stuff like that. Valkyries playing 3 is just very, very annoying to play against, and it actually kind of like slows the game down somewhat, even though Necros are a relatively fast deck. So yeah. Then we have Dante, MLG Quickscoper of the Burning Abyss. Let's not talk about BA because I don't think nothing much needs to be said. Other than the fact that BA have been doing really good at nationals and regionals and all that. They won the North American WCQ. They were both in the finals. 4 of the top 8 decks in the North American WCQ were Burning Abyss. No one expected that, but I think they have the ability to make like 3 Dantes first turn or something like that. It's not very often, but if they do it, you're basically done for. So, and also lets BA float a lot, which they already are able to do a lot. So yeah, let's not let BA float that much. And then we have the 2 Insector duo cards, Dragonfly and Hornet, which are both currently limited. Putting them at semi-limited doesn't make them like OP anymore like they were. I think it was like in 2012 where they won Worlds and all that. It doesn't make them overpowered. Being able to destroy 2 cards with Hornet is not as formidable as it once was in 2012 when they had 3 Hornets. With cards like Shaddolls that have effects when they're sent to the graveyard by a card effect, with stuff like Burning Abyss and all those cards that actually go plus when they're destroyed, or not necessarily plus but make up for their loss, it doesn't really hurt decks like that anymore. And I think Insectors should at least have something to restore themselves to the power that they once had. And then I have the like hopeful card, which would be Torrential Tribute. Me as a Ritual Beast player would like actually for Torrential to go to 2. Let's just say that you can basically use Cannahawk's effect since it's cost to return to the extra deck, chain Torrential Tribute, Cannahawk goes to the extra deck, all your opponent's monsters get destroyed, and I get all my stuff off of Cannahawk still on the field. So yeah. And it doesn't negate stuff like Satellar Knight's effects, although it does negate their ability to go into Exceeds if you destroy them all. But the monsters are still summoned, so they'd still get their effects to search and especially from the grave and all that. So yeah, it doesn't really hurt. Well, it does hurt Satellar Knights, but it doesn't hurt their effects, and it doesn't hurt Ritual Beast ulti monsters. So I don't think Torrential is too much of a threat. But as you might have seen from the ARG format video, a bunch of like destruction cards, Dark Hole, Torrential Tribute. I think it might turn into one of those like destruction formats where you can't summon anything without it being destroyed that or next turn with Torrential, Dark Hole, stuff like that. So yeah, that's the semi-limited list, and we're going on to the unbanned cards next. Alright, so finally we have Dark Hole. I think a lot of people might have seen this coming, but Dark Hole, even though it's at 2, it's not even played at all, and if it is at 1, I think I'm playing 1 Dark Hole in Ritual Beast right now, and the fact that Regeki is a thing does, lower its use levels a bit. The only deck that I think would rather use Dark Hole other than Regeki would be Yang Zing, so you can go plus and make your synchros and all that. But yeah, so I don't think Dark Hole needs to be on the list anymore. I think it's fine how it is right now. So yeah, that was the 2015 July ban list predictions. Hope you guys enjoyed. DominantDuels signing out.